Well, that's an interesting concept because many people with dementia think, oh, well, that's the end of the road. And perhaps I thought that at the beginning. For example, I used to do jigsaws, really big ones, really big ones. And of course, when I got dementia, I couldn't do them anymore. So I, in a sense, threw away the whole lot. I thought, this is no good. I can't do it anymore. But my son said, Mum, you can't hide behind your diagnosis. What are you going to do about it? So I thought, well, we can relearn. I've seen people who've had strokes, who've lost the ability to talk, who've learned to talk again, or who've lost the ability to walk and who've learned to walk again. Okay, I'm going to learn to do jigsaws again. So I got out my 3-piece one for my granddaughter and managed that. And then I went on to a 9-piece. I'm serious, and then a 12, and I gradually worked up, gradually doing more and more. But the colours have to be bright. I can't do all sky or sea or really difficult ones. They have to be bright, distinctive colours. But I've managed, I can actually do a 250-piece jigsaw, which at one stage I thought I can never, ever do a jigsaw again. So we can relearn, but it takes a little bit of effort. And learning another language, I mean, not necessarily a new one, but one that we learned before that one has forgotten. Well, why not? There's plenty on the internet, or you can get CDs or anything to remind one of what one already knew, to try and just kind of find another way to access those memories in the brain rather than assume they've all gone. Because I believe a lot of memories are still there and can still be accessed. You see, I believe the real person remains there, often locked inside the condition until the end. And many people know that before someone dies, they have a period of lucidity. I mean, many people know this, and staff certainly do. And the person suddenly knows everything, remembers everything just before they die. Well, if that is true, which it is, that means all that knowledge was in the brain all the time. It just needed to be found. Now, if a road is blocked and, we can't get through, you can give up and go home, which is what a lot of people do with dementia. Well, suppose they find another way. It might be difficult. It might take quite a lot longer, but why not? So I've tried to explain all these things in my book as well, because it takes quite a bit of time to explain sometimes.
Very much so. As I said, the art is something that I'm learning all the time with, because 2 years ago, I hadn't painted a picture since I was 11. And writing the same. I find writing what I want to write a challenge in itself, and I enjoy that. But the actual physicality of the writing is getting harder because of the dementia. So often one of the undergraduates will be doing the writing for me or the typing for me. So I will have the ideas in my brain whizzing through there, and they'll help me actually record them on either on the screen or on paper.
And over those 10 years, mainly up the first 5 years, I guess, there were a number of things that my family put into place and helped me with red letter days. So I have taken part in a hovercraft driving day, just a small hovercraft. I've done a Segway safari day, where you go into the woods on one of those 2-wheeled balancey things, and you try and keep your balance on that. I've done a fixed wing microflight. I've had a helicopter flight over London. I had a tank driving day. Now that was brilliant, a tank driving day, because I got to drive all these huge tanks. And it was so funny when I was driving the Chieftain tank, I turned to the instructor and said, "Oh, did I mention I've got dementia?" And the look on his face was classic. It was so funny. I mean, the organisers knew that I was living with dementia, but I'm not sure if the message had got to the instructor. I think he thought I was going to go off and blow up Winchester with the Chieftain tank. But so those are new things that I've done, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing them, and I've kind of ticked them off as things that I'm doing. I'm tempted to do a parachute, a tandem parachute jump, but I haven't quite got around to doing that yet. I wanted to do an inflatable speed ride up the Thames, but the organisers wouldn't let me do it. Not because of my dementia, but because I've had 3 heart attacks in the past, and I think they were worried that I'd be having so much fun I'd have a heart attack, so they wouldn't allow me to do it. But so it just, they were new things to me, and it just proves that you can carry on doing things. You can still find happiness and enjoyment in your life, as long as the right safety precautions are put in place. You can still do those things, and you jolly well should do them, because otherwise, life would get very tiresome, wouldn't it?